On our trip to Havre De Grace, Maryland, we left the Stepping Stone Farm Museum in Susquehanna State Park, and we headed down the hill toward the historic town of Havre De Grace. Now, we were here last year, and it was the same weekend, Labor Day weekend. We got to walk around and explore this awesome waterfront town. But there was still a lot left that we didn't get to see. So we were back again. This time Redford was with us, and we were ready to explore one of our favorite places that we got to visit the previous year. We parked in this lot as soon as you get into the town, right under the bridge, and there's plenty of parking spots. It's surprising. Holiday weekend, historic touristy town. We didn't have any issues finding parking last year either. Really surprising. It's usually an issue. We were very happy that we didn't have to hunt for parking. The other nice thing about this area is that it is very walkable. Nice sidewalks, easy to cross the street, very dog friendly. A lot of the businesses actually have signs saying that they are dog friendly. So we walked past some of the murals. Redford got to try his dog friendly water fountain.
Good boy. Good boy. Red.
And then we decided to break our sugar fast by getting a muffin and coffee at a local coffee shop. You have an audience. Oh, Red. That's the cookie place we wanted to go to, but they're closed on Sundays. One of the things we wanted to check out in more detail this time was the extensive collection of murals that they have decorating the sides of a lot of the buildings toward the waterfront. There are murals that show the racetrack that used to be here. There are murals about the local history and all sorts of beautifully depicted scenes, including their connection to different wars and battles and decoys. Decoys are a big thing. There's actually a decoy museum. Definitely can't do that with Red, though. We walked down to the marina at the waterfront and checked out some of the boats. You might not know, but Patrick and I have an interest in sailboats. If we ever get tired of tiny house living or traveling in the RV, we would consider getting a sailboat because we're just fascinated by the whole process of living on a boat and being able to use the wind to move from place to place. He wants to enjoy the art.
Oh,
He's like, oh, that's the brothel. Yeah. That's great. History.
Nice.
The missing chapter in the local history books. This way to ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
We were on a mission to go back to Bomboys ice cream because they were our favorite. On one side of the street is ice cream, on the other side of the street is fudge. Got cookies and cream, and I got Duck Duck Goose, which is vanilla ice cream with caramel and peanut butter cup chunks. And my favorite part, the color changing spoon. It's so neat. After having some fantastic ice cream, we went a little farther down the waterfront to the main area, which has the park and the lighthouse. There was a line to be able to get into the lighthouse, so we decided not to do that, but the guys found a good shady spot to sit and take a rest. Redford was pretty happy to roll around in the grass for a little while. There are lots of birds at the waterfront, and we sat here watching this eagle fly overhead for quite a few minutes. We made our way back to the parking area, and there is a shuttle in the area that you can get from place to place, but the town is small enough that it's pretty walkable, so we enjoyed the walk, and I don't think Redford would have been allowed on the shuttle. but we went back to our campsite to get ready for dinner. Patrick went to take a shower. I just got back from showering, and I am getting dinner started. We were gonna get takeout, but then I was telling Pat that I had this stuff to make one of our favorite pasta dishes, and we were both like, yeah, let's do that. So this is the cauliflower gluten-free pasta that I love. You can get that at Walmart. Bunch of cloves of garlic, olive oil, lots of tomatoes. I'm doing it with feta cheese this time. Last time I did it with goat cheese, so we're going to try it. I think feta is going to be good because it's a little saltier. And I'm going to be roasting it in the Omnia oven, which we haven't used in a little while, but I just have a bunch of olive oil in there. I'm going to chop everything up, throw it in. And the great thing about this pasta is it takes 3 minutes to cook, so it's delicious and really fast. In here we have the tomatoes and garlic, and then I added spinach because, like I said, we need a little extra nutrients. And now I'm going to add the cheese on top and let it cook for a few more minutes so that all kind of like melts together and makes the delicious sauce. There's the sauce. It smells amazing. I'm going to throw it over the pasta and actually cook it a little bit more because the pasta's still kind of like just a little too al dente. But then I think it's going to be perfect. First course is salad because we had ice cream for lunch, so we need some nutrition. It smells really good. I know, I was like, there's some for leftovers, but I doubt it's gonna last. I usually make this recipe with goat cheese instead of feta, but I think I like it even better with feta. And it is one of our absolute favorite camping meals, especially since Patrick wanted to do this over going out to eat or getting takeout. So that tells you something. The first time we opened the Gazelle at our house, we had the fire going in the chimenea, and that thing throws off some embers sometimes, and we ended up with a hole. So I got our gear patch kit, and there it is, a little hole.
It's christened already.
Yeah. We are rough on gear, so I guess we're good testers, but we'll fix it.
On the outside.
You go on the outside. Yep. Okay. We'll call that good as new.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's waterproof again. The campground is somewhat quieting down as people are leaving. Slightly less screaming, but only slightly. While we're talking about fixing things, I'll show you a quick glimpse of the new toilet. We're still kind of in the research and development phase of the new toilet system, so I won't get into detail with that. And then the fridge. We were having trouble getting the fridge to light on propane, which is always kind of tricky. This little system of like turning the propane on and then there's an ignition thing, and it wasn't clicking, and we kept trying to light it, and you can't see there's like a little light in there to see that the propane is on or not on. And what Pat ended up doing is just lighting it manually from the outside, and now it's working great. So I think the little clicker to ignite the propane is not working because 10 years old. So it seems like right now we're on a cycle of like one thing breaks per trip. That's the situation with the 10-year-old RV. And just that quickly, it is time to go. Time to dump. Ready to go? Yeah. Patrick's doing the fun jab, and right over here by the dump station is this neat exhibit about butterflies and local plants. And look at all the monarchs. the caterpillars are so neat. I saw that one, but there's a bunch of them. Oh my gosh, there's so many because these are milkweeds. Here's one, there's one, there's one. And then it tells you about native and non-native plants. The crazy thing is, last year when we were here, we saw one spotted lanternfly. The very first one I had ever seen when we were camping, and this year they're everywhere. We were like getting hit by them. So a lot has changed in a year. Yeah, there it is. They have been flying around everywhere. They like to drink any kind of like nectar from the tree of heaven, and that's why there's so many wasps around, because they attract wasps. So this year there have been wasps everywhere, I feel like, and they're invasive. They eat apples, grapes, and hops. So they're endangering wine and beer, and luckily I've seen people stepping on them when they see them, so it seems like people are pretty aware of the situation with the lanternfly. But it's definitely not going in a good direction. We got back in the car and got on the road heading home to New Jersey. I'm so glad that we were able to visit Havre De Grace again, and especially that we were able to bring Redford with us this time. It is a great town with lots of history, places to eat, things to explore, and you can bring your dog. So all of that makes it a great destination. We have several trips coming up. Our next one is going to be our fall trip to Vermont. We're doing our first train trip. We're taking Amtrak up to Vermont. And then we have Florida and Ireland and a bunch of other fun things. So make sure that you are subscribed to come along with us on our next adventure. And we appreciate you being here and sharing our travels. If you'd like to support the production of our videos, you can head over to our Patreon page, and for as little as $1, you can see our videos early and before they have advertisements on them from YouTube. But most importantly, thanks for being here.
Well, you worried about you and me, the injustice, the next president to be, the news and what you hear, your career. It's time for you to face those fears, and it's all fair to be aware, and I'll be there, so don't be scared. Just take a deep breath of air, and 1, 2, 3 to 10, you begin to focus again, and though time flies, we'll have enough to realize this bigger than the both of us.